Kyle, it's your day, man. It's your
Right.
Green Day day. What do you got?
Been waiting for this for years. Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So I mean, after Unlucky album 13, which was one of their worst albums. As far as things go, I've never disliked a Green Day record, but Father of All, coming off the heels of that, which was a flop both critically and you know in the fan base, audiences and critics alike just panned that record. And for a good reason. It wasn't Green Day. Butch Walker kind of butchered the production on it. So couple that with the Hella Mega tour, in which it was pretty much, they didn't play a single track off that album. It was pretty much a greatest hits album or greatest hits tour. And it just kind of got me thinking, kind of got me a little worried that they've hit that point of their career, which even if they were, great, good for them. But I kind of got worried that they're at the point of their career where they're just going to throw out a release here and there every so often, like a lackluster release, and just be more of a legacy act, touring off of the hits. Which this far into a career, that's not, that would still be great. A lot of artists would be grateful to be in that position. But I'm glad this album really showed me that they still have more in the tank. They still have things to say. And yeah, so I mean, let's get into it. I'll go track by track here real quick. The American Dream is killing me. I mean, I've had this on repeat since it came out in October. It's a straight 10 out of 10 for me. This is exactly what I was looking for in a return from Green Day. It's, bring back the political commentary. This is actually written years ago. This is actually the first song written and last song recorded for here. They recorded it during the Father of All sessions, or well, wrote it then, but thought it was too much of like low hanging fruit at the time with the election going on, and kind of wanted to stay away from the politics at the time. Glad it came out now. Really great way to introduce the album. But having said that, it's really on its own. It doesn't represent the album at all. The rest of the album is a pretty large shift from this for the most part, but that's not a bad thing at all. I mean, Look Mono Brains, probably the most punk, like true punk song they've done since Insomniac. Another 10 out of 10 for me. One of my favorites on this record. Another one I've been listening to it since it came out. Yet to get sick of it. Just front to back, incredible song. Lyrically fun. Instrumentation is great. Again, most punk thing they've done since Insomniac. Then you go to Bobby Socks, which I like the song. Don't get me wrong. This sits at about an 8 or a 9 for me. Could go up and down depending on what mood I'm in. But that might be an unpopular opinion that this is my least favorite to second least favorite on the album. This seems to be a
Eight
fan.
or nine's your least favorite?
Yes. Yes. We're
Sheesh,
going.
man. This guy's he's going hard on this album.
I'm going very hard on this album. Yes. So this seems to be a fan favorite. People seem to like this one. A lot of people quote this one as their favorite and a highlight. And I get that. It's a very Weezer-esque song
It
with the
is.
chorus being very much almost like a Chester Bennington inspired vocal.
Mm.
And it's cool. It's a cool change up for Green Day on that front. But then One Eyed Bastard, great song. I've had this one since like May or June. There was like a leak of it that went around.
Yeah.
So I've known of this one. The only thing I really changed is like some more production. It has a little bit beefier production on it. Some like gang vocals in there. Really great song. This one's gonna be it's gonna kill live 100%. The chorus a little bit repetitive, but I think it works in the commentary and like the place that it's at here. Really fun song. 10 out of 10 again. Haven't gotten sick of it yet. Don't think I will. And I've listened to this album probably somewhere between 20 to 30 times since it's come out. Dilemma, another 10 out of 10. The most personal
Oh,
lyrics he's done in
Pink wrote
huh?
Pink wrote My Bastard better, just to be
uh,
honest with you.
Deep Purple wrote
Yeah.
it better. If you want to go that route.
If you want to go on
But yeah, everyone's drawn that comparison to Pink on One Eyed Bastard. I mean, it's right there. But I mean, if you want to trace it all the way back, it goes back to Deep Purple. Uh, but again, Dilemma, some of the most personal lyrics he's written, kind of has a what's her name feel to it. Has a back to like this is only the second song they've ever done in drop D tuning. Has some cool aspects going on here. Really love this one. 1981, another just fast, fun punk song. Love this one. Love all the references to the I like the political styles of the 80s, but also keeping it fun at the same time. Really fun. It's only like 2 minutes long, but another 10 out of 10. Then Goodnight Adeline, more personal lyrics from him. Actually, the first time I heard this at one of the listening parties, I actually got like chills during that first verse. Really good. The vocal melodies on this are beautiful. The chorus is great. The solo that leads into the key change at the end is perfect. Exactly what I want in Green Day's material that was missing from Father of All are actual movements and not just we're playing the song. Here's a 2.5 minute song, and that's it. Love that they had that in there. Coma City, probably the most 21st century breakdown sounding song on the album. Best thing about this one is another 10 out of 10. But best thing on this is that ending where it just devolves into just insanity. I mean, Trey just going crazy on the drums for the last like 30 or so seconds. You could tell it must have been so much fun for them to record. Corvette Summer, really cool garage rock sound going on here, very like 70s almost inspired. Uh, chorus kind of even sounds. We did the Beach Boys last week.
Yep.
Chorus kind of sounds a little bit Beach Boys esque. Love it. Really fun chorus. It's a perfect driving song. Susie Chapstick. This one actually grew on me. At first, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this one. It actually grew on me quite a bit. It gets stuck in my head. It's a very probably the slowest song on here that's not just straight ballad like Father to a Son. But again, vocal melodies on this are great. This whole album's probably Billy's best vocal performance since 21st Century Breakdown. The melodies are some of the best he's written. Then Strange Days Are Here to Say. Love this. This one, especially, I'm going to kind of talk about this one with Living in the 20s at the same time because I feel like these back to back are just such a kick ass combination. They both kind of get that political commentary, but that line on Strange Days where he says, ever since Bowie died, it hasn't been the same. And I think that's such a cool like point in time to point to for that because that was 2016.
Yes.
And yeah, things have been quite different since then. I mean, everything that's happened since 2016, the world really doesn't feel the same. And it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Living in the 20s, some really just fun, angry lyrics on there. It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize, probably until I heard the song. Because when I first saw the track list and saw the name, did not realize it was going to be about the 2020s. My mind was going to be talking about the 1920s. And I heard the song and I was like, oh, yeah, that makes more sense. But yeah, I love that one. It sounds very much like Horseshoes and Hand Grenades from 21st Century Breakdown. Has a very similar chord progression rhythm going on. And then it brings you to Father to a Son, which probably one of the best ballad they've done since 2009. That's for sure. It starts, acoustic and it has that build up with the strings and just kind of builds and builds. Really great. It's a really sweet song. Just Billy writing a message to his kids, and it's great. It works very well. I could totally see this in a live setting, sandwiched somewhere like between Wake Me Up at September Ends, 21 Guns, and like Good Riddance toward the end of the set. And then we go into maybe my least favorite. It's either this one or Bobby Socks. I go back and forth. Nothing really happens much in this song. That's not to say
we know JT's going to give it a 10. Let's just be
I
honest
thought that
with
going
us.
into it too, Mike. But
We'll see.
it doesn't really go. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's a good song for what it is. But when I compare it to the other songs on the album, it just seems to be missing a little something. I like the effect, like the megaphone effect on his voice. It's cool. Like it serves its function. I could see this being like the first song that they play at like the concerts for this tour to kind of like ease people in. Like it has a good atmosphere for that. But again, it doesn't really go anywhere, which leads into Fancy Sauce, which, not gonna lie, when I saw the title to this track, I was a little worried about it. I was like, are they gonna be ending this album on like a joke song?
Mm.
And I saw the length before I heard it, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be a 4-minute joke song. But no, it ended up being a pretty deep track, slow track. I think it's one of their best closers in general. That beginning intro guitar actually reminds me a bit of Red Hot Chili Peppers at times. Just think it might just be the tone on it. But that the chorus is fantastic. It has very personal lyrics that I didn't expect from a song like this. I like it has like that instrumental outro to it. So I mean, overall, this album it's a straight 10 out of 10 for me. As an album listening experience, it's fantastic. This is the best thing they've done since 2009. 100%. And that's not, I don't say that lightly because I loved Revolution Radio. I thought that was one of their top 3 records. I honestly think with the production on this is overtaking it. I mean, Rob Cavallo and Chris Lord Alge are the dream team for Green Day in terms of production and mixing. Everything they touch with these guys is gold. This album's no exception. And I hope that they continue working together after this. I don't want another Father of All situation after this one. I think they're in a good spot. This album blew me away, and I've been listening to it nonstop, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon.